In the previous video, we looked into an error which is resulted from cross-site request forgery issue, which is famously called as CSRF in the industry. So CSRF will come in any web application whenever someone try to make a put, post, delete such kind of operations which will result into data change on the database. By default, CSRF issue will block your operations. It's nothing related to the cross origin. Even if you are trying to perform the operations like your UI and backend, they stay on the same host and port and domain, still will get into CSRF issues. The reason is a typical cross-site request forgery, which is CSRF attack, aims to perform an operation in a web application on behalf of an logged in user without their explicit consent. There are many ways the hackers can attack your users. Maybe you have taken enough measures not to steal their credentials, but CSRF is one of the smartest approach where the attackers can exploit if you don't handle it properly. So consider a scenario where we have a two website, netflix.com, and attacker's website is a travelblack.com. So as a Netflix user, I entered my credentials and I logged in. Now, in a hypothetical scenario, let's think about a scenario where Netflix is maintaining a cookie inside my browser. So as long as I'm inside the same browser and making any further request to the Netflix, it won't ask my credentials. It will just rely on the cookie to perform any operations on the backend. So now I have a valid cookie present on the browser, and now I'm navigating to the travelblack.com where attacker have a link which will change my password on netflix.com. So when attacker tempt you to click on that link, as soon as you click on that link, it will send a legal request to netflix.com to change the password, and since you already have a cookie inside your browser, netflix.com will accept and treat it as a valid cookie and change the password, which is a security exploit here. To avoid CSRF attacks, there are many ways, but first of all, you can see here in the diagram, firstly the user logged in into a proper website like netflix.com and he has an active session or cookie inside his browser. Now the same user clicked on some malicious link which is built by hacker, and as soon as the user click on that link, it will take the cookie inside your browser related to netflix.com and send a request to netflix.com to change the password. And netflix.com treat it as a genuine request because the cookie value, the whatever token that you stored inside the cookie, is given by Netflix itself during the first login. That's why even Netflix.com also cannot identify whether the request is coming really from a valid user or from an attacker. You may say this may not be possible if the user will not click on the malicious link. But we can't control all those user activities. But what we can do to avoid the CSRF attack inside our application is by maintaining a CSRF token. So CSRF token is a token which is issued by your backend application when the first communication happens from the user to netflix.com, like during the login of the user. So that token will never be stored into the browser session or browser cookies, but it will be given to the whoever calling like UI application or browser. They have to make sure that they are passing the same token value whenever they try to want a communication with a backend. So now my backend, though I'm passing a valid security token related to my login mechanism, but still it will expect me to pass a CSRF token. If I don't have a CSRF token valid one which pass, then it will block the communication using a 403 forbidden error. So that means on top of your authentication token which you are maintaining inside your cookie, we are also maintaining a CSRF token that is tied to user session, but it is not submitted automatically like cookies, and you have to make enough measures to send that token every time when we are making a request to the backend server. So now we have a clear idea what is CSRF attack. Let's try to see different ways of handling this or resolve this error in Spring Security. Thank you. Bye.